New tonight, a particularly lethal drug has found its way into mid-Michigan.
It's an amped-up opioid that's killing teens and complicating the work of first responders.
And tonight, we look at the danger of something called pink in a special report.
Right up here, goes in here.
Preparation, just one tool in the arsenal Robert Warnemuende packs to give him more muscle. In a fight he's not convinced we are winning.
You get dispatched to a cardiac arrest, you presume that it's an overdose.
Because the opioid epidemic is putting him on the front lines, unlocking a dark world he never could have anticipated 6 years ago when he suited up to be a paramedic for mobile medical response.
When I first started having someone who overdosed where you would give Narcan, maybe one a week, one every other week, to now we're seeing multiple a day.
And that requires him to carry more doses of Narcan than ever before. The heroin he's seeing is getting stronger. Stronger because of the synthetic drugs added to it.
It is 7 times stronger than morphine.
It's a drug known as pink or pinky on the streets. Streets that lead right here to mid-Michigan.
We have had some instances where the amount of Narcan that police and ourselves carry is just enough to keep the patient breathing until we get them to the hospital.
So what exactly is pink heroin? Well, it's an experimental synthetic pain reliever called U-47-700, developed in the 1970s by the pharmaceutical manufacturer Upjohn in Kalamazoo. It was a research drug that never came to market, but why the name pink?
It's the color of the actual synthetic opioid. It doesn't necessarily make the heroin pink.
Well, when it was patented, its chemical makeup was made public, and variations are being produced overseas.
Think of grains of sand. In quantities that small, it can end your life.
And it has, killing 2 13-year-old boys in Utah. It was ordered online from China. The boys were found dead separately by their parents over 2 days. Investigators found conversations about U-47-700 on their social media accounts.
You see these kids that'll take it thinking they take the same amount that they need to when they're taking heroin, and it ends up killing them because it's so much stronger.
Medical professionals and law enforcement are working to open up new doors to get a handle on the epidemic. But the versions of heroin like pink are more potent. In Saginaw, look at these numbers. In 2015, MMR alone responded to 204 overdoses using 274 doses of Narcan. This year, the amount of doses required to counteract these powerful drugs is already nearly doubled. To help 280 patients, it's required a startling 456 doses.
It could be here for days, weeks, even months before we even know what the drug is.
And often, toxicology reports from an autopsy are the only way for emergency personnel to find out for certain. Because even after saving a person's life, they still don't want to admit to doing drugs.
Sometimes once we do get them back and we ask, did you take any street drugs, any medication, they'll deny it.
And no matter how much preparation Warnemuende does, he only has so many tools to bring someone back from the brink of death.
It's kind of 50-50 now. Sometimes they're breathing, sometimes they're not. If they're not breathing, then we have to go into our cardiac arrest protocols because Narcan's not going to work at that point.
Well, after 46 deaths were linked to U-47-700 in 2015 and 2016, the DEA classified the drug as illegal, stating its high risk for abuse, addiction, and lack of practical use in medicine.